she's brought in a hard cap on emissions from the oil sands. I think it's 100 megatons going from memory. Will you keep that or scrap it?
That's a complex question, Ezra. We need to make reasonable efforts to reduce carbon emissions, but in a way that does not inflict significant damage on our economy or put Alberta at a competitive disadvantage. So I think I would reserve a decision, but absolutely repeal the carbon tax.
Yeah, I think the hard cap is basically was a sop to get the big four incumbents to endorse their carbon tax because it kept out any new competitors and challenges. I hope you scrap it. Coal, we got the cleanest coal in the country, in the world by some measures. We have clean coal-fired power plants. The NDP has announced they will abolish those. They will outlaw coal-fired power in Alberta. What will you do?
The federal Conservative government already brought in tough coal regulations eventually to phase out coal energy, electrical production in Alberta. But we did it in a gradual way that would not end up with billions of dollars of stranded assets. What the NDP is doing in recklessly accelerating this shutdown of coal-fired electrical generation is assuming billions of dollars of transitional and compensation costs. That's unnecessary. I would go back to the federal schedule, a more gradual a tapering down of our coal energy production.
How about some of the changes to the schools? I read in great detail the guidelines that are in fact mandatory, that in schools, in locker rooms, in bathrooms, in sports teams, that pre-op transsexual men will have access to locker rooms, and parents will not be advised, and there is no test other than a boy saying, I feel like a girl. This has met with a lot of resistance from some parents. This seems like ideological meddling, and I think it puts girls at risk. You know where I'm coming from. Where do you come from on that issue?
I don't actually, I'm not familiar with the details of what they're proposing, but as I have said in my speech yesterday, I believe that parents are ultimately responsible for the education of their children, not politicians. And I'm very concerned about what the NDP is now proposing, a quote, radical change in the Alberta curriculum. When a bunch of ideologues like the NDP, socialists, propose radical changes to the curriculum, we all know what that means. That's not about better standardized test scores. It's not about higher levels of numeracy or literacy. It's about social engineering and politicizing the curriculum. And I'm deeply concerned about that. I think I'll tell you, that's been the hottest, the greatest concern I've heard from Albertans since launching this campaign 24 hours ago. It revolves around that issue because they understand the long-term consequences of an effort to politicize the school system.
I agree with you on curriculum. You should check out our website, protectourgirls.ca, just about men in girls' change rooms. I think it's insane. Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.